Hello my friends, it's time to hunt some credits today, and I'm here in Ocean City, New Jersey, where there's two spots that we're gonna hit up today. The first one behind me is Gillian's Wonderland. It looks really cool. I've never been down here, and I'll turn around real quick and show you the amazing view. Never mind the pipe that's there, but we have a really nice view here today. Really excited to start this one. Just got here after work, so energy levels are a little lower than usual, and of course this starts right when I'm gonna do my intro, so let's get this started. It looks like they spell out the entirety of Wonderland here with these letters. That's a real nice touch here. The entrance is really nice, but I say it's time we enter here. Gillian's Wonderland Pier. So I just entered through that little kiddie area, and that seems to be where all the spinner rides are and all of that, and then out here in this whole area is kind of where you need to be a little bit taller to ride. So I don't know who this is behind me, but I love them, and we're gonna go check out the Wacky Worm, which is the only credit that is available here, and it's a junior coaster like any other, but I do like the train. It is pretty wacky, so I'm gonna go check that out real quick, and you guys know what to expect. Well, that did exactly what I expected it to, and it went around a few times, and happy days +1. I think I'm now approaching 120, I want to say, after my Cedar Point adventure, but I do want to take a quick little walk through here if you don't mind. It'll only be a minute or two, I promise, and then we're gonna move on to the next location. But anyway, right across from here, the park kind of opens itself up. There's those jump things that I've only ever seen in Roller Coaster Tycoon and never in person. Then there's the sun being evil about the lighting, and there's the swings, some nice ornate simple swings, bumper cars, classic bumper cars where you do not have to go in a circle. And then there's this Ferris wheel looking all pretty in that golden hour glow here. We're gonna head on down here. There is a little like monorail train thing that goes around here that kind of surprised me, and like little dark ride which I assume has live actors. Then down here across from there is a drop tower, decent height, and then everybody's favorite at the shore apparently, because everybody has to have one, that Moby Dick ride that I've seen everywhere. Oh, and that alien ride that I've seen everywhere. Interesting. But just beyond that, there's a legitimate flume ride here. Wow, how cool. And they actually have Wonderland on the front there. How awesome. And just coming up to this sign saying, yes, they are doing masks, they are social distancing, they are doing all of that. And who the heck is that giving canyon tours there? Interesting. And then what else is up here? Are there any more rides up here? I don't know. Got a nice little wide angle view here. Unfortunately, that rail for that little monorail is kind of in the way of seeing everything else, but either way, we're gonna start making our way out here and see what else we can find. So all in all, I like the layout of the park. It's working with the space that it has, and it's using every bit of it. It's like they measured it to the inch here for most of these rides. But it has a really good lineup, and there's not much else to say other than I wish it had a little bit more coaster-wise. But thankfully, there is a second stop that is going to include quite a few of those. As I make my way out of Gillian's, I wanted to just kind of take a quick little shot here of the Carousel, which looks really nice. Everything here looks just really well maintained, and if we just keep on going, you'll see this area is just filled with the kiddie rides, which I appreciate that this area is covered. Definitely a bonus here for when it's hot and summery. Oh, and the monorail goes throughout the entire park, FYI. It is surprisingly quiet on this boardwalk, even though it's full of people. It is a lot more calmer and relaxed than our previous destinations at Point Pleasant and Seaside Heights. But overall, we're making our way down to Playland's Castaway Cove. I see GaleForce in the distance, so I'm really excited for that one. The vibe here is just completely different, and I'm digging it. I'm really digging this. It's awesome. Oh my goodness, look what I spotted. I hope they're open late so that I can grab that on the way out. So not only are there Dole Whip, I've seen at least 3 or 4 different mini golf places here. Tons of places to eat, and still the vibe is super laid back. I think we're about to hit Playland's Castaway Cove now, but dang, this is a really relaxed little boardwalk. You can say hi.
Hi. What's up? Hey, you should never go shopping.
Thanks for the advice. Seeing some coasters and some sunset over there, and that's looking beautiful. And I'm also seeing this really old saltwater taffy shop, 1919. How about that? The places around here are just, they've been here a while. Dang. Let me know if you guys have had saltwater taffy. I am partial to it, but I think that's because I grew up with it and it's kind of an acquired taste. And then just kind of highlighting the difference of things that are around here. You have that store from 1919, and then you have this K-pop Korean fusion barbecue. And then right here we have Playland's Castaway Cove. Wow. Let's go in. It's quite the entrance here. It's all tightly packed and full of arcade games. Holy moly. That was insane. And then it just opens right up. This looks amazing. Let's turn this around. So it's currently very crowded in here. I waited quite a few minutes there to wait to buy tickets, but I bought enough tickets to get on the 4 coasters that are here. That's 4 hot and fresh credits. Unfortunately, the very first one I see is something that looks quite familiar, and I'll show you why. All right, guys, guess what this is? It is an SBF figure 8 spinner. The one which bruised my thigh, called Tidal Wave, over at Jenkinson's. This is a clone of that, and oh, I am fearful. Thankfully, there doesn't seem to be any cameras on it this time, so no crazy footage, but while I go ride this, you can watch me fly out of my seat and smash my hip into the ride vehicle. Hopefully that does not happen here. So thankfully this did not really destroy my hip quite as much, but like I was saying, it is pretty crowded, so I'm gonna probably keep myself behind the camera for a little bit so I can guarantee that I'm gonna be heard over all the crowd. Here comes our next credit, Hot and Fast Wild Waves, which looks like an old E&F family coaster. Yep, that would appear to be it. All right. Let's get this one done. I'm gonna save GaleForce for last, which is that blue track that you're seeing right there. Super shocking here. What a discovery. The first park out of the 5 Jersey Shore parks that I've been to that does not have a Moby Dick. It has a Hurricane instead. Pretty much the same exact ride, but something worth noting. And then there goes Alien Abduction in the background. So I'm here on the opposite side of the Hurricane, and I didn't realize that this little pathway goes this way. It's tough to social distance when the paths are so narrow. And that is a really cool looking spinner ride right here. Wow. Turn the corner and saw their Ferris wheel, which is looking really cool. And then we're gonna keep on heading back. I think I'll finally find the roller coaster that we need to get on here. I don't know what to say about it. It just looks cool. I don't think I've ever been on a flat ride like this before. Huh. And right next to that, there's Gold Rush. Pirates Gold Rush. That's a cool looking sign right there. It doesn't look like there's any good spots to get B-roll of this, but I'm gonna go look real quick. Well, I got the backside of the train right there, but it looks like your standard-ish little E&F family coaster again, just at a much smaller scale than we were just on. But also looks like you can get a better view here because I'm at the very edge of the park here. And then across the way there, off in the distance, I believe I see yet another mini golf course. Okay, so just to kind of recap real quick, we had the Pirates Gold Rush just before. That was a quick little soft E&F family coaster. Nothing to write home about, but it's good to have that type of thing to kind of get kids started, you know? Next up, there was Wild Waves, which was very similar, but a little more advanced than the Pirates Gold Rush, which again is a good way. It's like you have the beginners, the intermediate Wild Waves, and then what we're going to be going to next is GaleForce, which hopefully, you know, a kid who's been coming here can just work their way up to. Then last but not least, there was Whirlwind, which did not destroy my hip. I had to look it up, and it looks like the one at Jenkinson's, Tidal Wave, has a slightly different layout. It's still a figure 8, funny enough, but I didn't slam my hip into the ride vehicle on the way down nearly as hard. There was a little bit of that, but it wasn't nearly as bad as the one at Jenkinson's. Whirlwind here wasn't nearly as bad, because that one was a figure 8 that went above the station, which I don't know if that changed it or not, but if you guys have any insight into it, let me know, because I was very fearful of destroying my hip again on Whirlwind. All right, back into the crowd here, and our destination is that blue track back there, GaleForce. So that is it. I've ridden all 4 coasters here, GaleForce, and a lovely SNS coaster that I didn't expect to be quite as intense as it was. There was a little bit of headbanging, but it wasn't too bad. A lot better than hip banging, let me tell you that much. The front row was really cool. The views were really cool with all of the different neon lights and everything here. Overall, it's a solid coaster. It is a little steep at 14 credits. I think you have the option of also buying a pass for it, which is $10, so $14 for one ride, $10 for another. Anyway, all that being said, I think I'm gonna go find some food now, exit the park, and we're gonna kind of hash out all that we've witnessed and ridden today. So I'm struggling to find the place that was recommended to me to eat tonight. However, I hit 124 in terms of credits, which is awesome. GaleForce being my 124th. Imagine that. Went from 100 to 124 pretty quickly, and hopefully we can get to 150 and 200 in short order. Hopefully in the near future, whenever it's safe, can head down to Florida, finish up what I started at SeaWorld Orlando and maybe at Busch Gardens Tampa. Really bummed that King's Dominion and Carowinds are going to be closed. I was planning on a nice road trip for that, as well as Busch Gardens Williamsburg, which is having some sort of special event. However, only 3 coasters are open, so for the 5 or 6 hour drive that is, it's probably not worth it for me. There's still plenty of other stuff open, and I still got some research to do, so the credit hunt continues. But for now, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and I hope you go make your own adventure. Bye.
Yeah.